So I always use the weekly magic sessions. So that like pops in my inbox, and whether it's like that day or the next day, I'm always jumping on into that piece. When I first joined, I went through some of the little workshops, which I loved. But on a weekly basis, I really gravitate to those like little weekly sessions on what's happening with the moon phase. And I love how you tie in whatever other energy is around it. Like this week was Taurus energy. So I love how you tap into not only the moon phase, but the other things that are going on too. Whether there's an eclipse or what other Leo energy, Taurus energy, whatever the other energy is kind of connected to it. And it really helps to align with where I'm at as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as a woman. It helps me to align with myself and recognize and tap into what I'm experiencing. And then it helps me with my clients as well, which is really cool. Because each time I watch one of those sessions, there's always something that shows up for a client, whether it's like the next day or during that week. And I'm able to kind of loop in that information and that new knowledge that I didn't have before, and pay it forward. So it helps me in terms of when to launch new things and tap into the energy of, okay, when is it a time to reflect? When is it a time to invite? When is it time to put the ask out, right? So it's really helped me kind of hone into where the collective energy is, and then align my business and launches from there. I find that I'm continuously going back to your stuff. What I like a lot too is they're short. Like they're not like each weekly session is like usually under 20 minutes. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 15. But it's something that's like digestible in a short amount of time. I don't have to spend like a full hour or 2 hours of time or 3 hours of time blocking off information. It's just like you give us like the high chunk, how it relates, what's going on. So for me as an entrepreneur, when I'm super busy, it's like a quick snapshot. Like sometimes it'll be like, okay, I got a 15-minute break in between clients and I can give it a listen. So like the monthly calendar was one of those things that I started to like plan out my social media for. So like listening to you and just getting the information for each week on what the moon phase is and what energy we're supported in, what the challenges may be or what the opportunities are. And that helps me to then kind of curate my social media. And also when I work with clients, and the reason I joined was really to get that information and knowledge, right? And now I find myself really utilizing it and being like anticipating and anxious for that next video, because I find that every single week I watch the video, in some way, shape, or form, it shows up for a client. And so I'm able to then help guide them, better support them on their journey with this extra knowledge. And when you want more, then there's more to dig into in the magic school, right? Like if there's something that you're like, oh my gosh, I love this, then there's always like, okay, you want to know more? Check into this next bit, which is cool. And when you're short on time, like many entrepreneurs are, you just get that quick like snapshot and you're like, yes. So I think that's what keeps coming me back like week after week, is that they're just like very user-friendly in that regard. So I am a transformational coach and I work mostly with parents with challenging children. Most of them are empaths or sensitive to other people's energy. And basically what I do is I help parents who are really struggling with overwhelm or not really sure what the next step to take, or feeling like, I don't know how to move forward, because it's such a unique scenario and each child is so different and there's no user manual. You don't get a user manual. It's just like, here you go. And a lot of the parenting techniques out there and the positive parenting and all that is wonderful. However, it doesn't seem to work with kids that are on the spectrum. So there is a really unique way to parent, and every child is different. But the tools that are what you think, like what you naturally, instinctively go to, a lot of it doesn't work. And so it's almost like this flip that we have to do, and this re-education and this relearning for ourselves. So I help give them the tools and the resources that they need to help effectively parent their unique child, as well as help them to overcome any blocks for themselves. So helping them protect their energy, helping them to overcome any self-doubt or beliefs that they're not a good mom or not good enough, to really stand in their truth and help them align their experience and their purpose with their parenting experience. So that's kind of the unique thing that's starting to come out a lot now in my work is that alignment of like, what does this mean for my life path?